beautiful soul. Welcome to the Quantum Business Queen podcast. This podcast is a vortex for activating wealth, riches, and boss bitches. It is here that I teach multi-dimensional business. Our content will fall under 3 different categories: 5D quantum creation, 4D frequency alchemy, and the most potent 3D strategy. Every aspect of business that contributes to the creation of success is covered here. Plus, I will be personally interviewing the most amazing boss bitches that are at the forefront of the game, paving the way for money, magic, and magnetism in business. Let's get ready to activate all of that within you. Hello! Welcome to this episode of the Quantum Business Queen podcast. Today we are going to dive into phase 2 of really being able to anchor in the energy of 2024 so we can ensure that you experience everything that's available to you. So if you did not listen to the last episode, please go back and listen to the last episode, which is the very first release of 2024, where we cut all of the cords of density, of old belief systems, of old identities, of old people, events, circumstances, all of the things that are required for you to release in order for you to slingshot into 2024. We also did some really powerful alignment exercises. I spoke to you about the frequency and the energy of identity and how it sits on the outside of your aura and how to clear that and how to recode that so you can step into powerful potential that awaits in 2024. So the first phase of my 3-phase ritual, the first phase is clearing out the old. And I did that with you in the last episode. So if you didn't listen, please go back or maybe re-listen. Listen to it a couple of times. You can go deep with all of this stuff. And, these shifts are insanely powerful. I have so many stories of people having their business change overnight, having things happen miraculously that they've been waiting for. And, when you get these alignment exercises and when you go deep with these, you can change things very quickly for yourself. So we spoke about that in the last episode. Phase 2 of once you get all this old dense energy shifted out, how do we then rebuild a new foundation, one that you can launch yourself off of? And so if you're ready for phase 2, then buckle up because this is going to be a super powerful episode. We want to guarantee that you can step into that vision, that potential, everything that awaits for you in 2024. There is going to be nothing more painful than you sitting in this exact same place 12 months from now. So my friend, this is a divine no. We will no longer tolerate sameness. We will no longer tolerate the hamster wheel. We will no longer tolerate perpetuating old, dense timelines that have us feel stuck. This is a divine no. And so I want you to take a stand right now. Your intentions are so insanely powerful. Your intentions are what moves energy. I talk about this in the Quantum Coach certification. I know this because I used to work in energy. That was all I did with my clients. That is all I did with my entrepreneurs. So it is so powerful that we understand what our divine no's are moving into 2024. The level of potential we experience is equivalent to our ability to say no to misaligned things. And sometimes that can be really hard. So what are your divine no's? What are your divine yeses? What are you choosing? Remember, success is always a choice. And if you're not deliberately choosing success, if you're not deliberately scripting out what it is you want to experience, and you're deliberately choosing to fail. And I know that sounds pretty harsh. However, you get to decide your way through things. Trust me on this. I tell this story time and time again. So we are going to start deliberately scripting out 2024, because when you do this, insanely powerful things will happen. Now, the last few minutes of the last podcast, I spoke about releasing the need to have results. And so what I want you to do is when we're looking at what 2024 is going to be for you, I want it to be from a place of less attachment to results, meaning less attachment to, it's my 6-figure year, it's going to be my 7-figure year. I don't want to work from that standpoint because that is an attachment energy, and attachment always implies lack. And so if you've always approached goals from needing to be attached to a result or attached to an outcome, energetically speaking, you're screaming out lack to the universe, and no wonder why that doesn't work. So what I want to approach this from is a completely different standpoint. We are going to be looking at all the areas of your life that you get to up level, because when you go to specific areas, you shift things out like what we did in episode 1, and all the ways you can take a stand for being better and up leveling. This is where the 6 and 7-figure results come just as a default. And you're not an attachment energy. Therefore, you're not in a scarcity energy. You're always in the energy of shifting and up-leveling, shifting and up-leveling. And every time you do that, you step into a new timeline. Every time you do that, you release the old. Every time you do that, you start inviting newness in. But you cannot do this from a place of attachment, because attachment will repel results. It repels results because you are saying you so desperately need something and desire something because it's not something that's already a resonance for you. Right now, I want you to understand that you are abundance. And if you can approach everything from the standpoint of you have it all, you are it all, you are a mental billionaire. Therefore, there's no need to have a result because you already are it all. This is the magnetic frequency that you need to be operating from. And so from that frequency, from the energy of enhancement and expansion, here's what I want you to do. And ideally, do this as soon as you possibly can in 2024, like in the first week or two of January. I want you to script out what 2024 feels like for you, month by month. What are you experiencing? And I want you to get like visceral in those experiences, because it's not about talking about a result. It's about the experiences that you're anchoring in 2024 that will allow you to have an emotional embodiment. And so month by month, January, February, March, April, what is happening for you? I want you to walk yourself through the year of 2024 and script it out. Write it out. What does it feel like to be this new identity, this up-leveled identity? What does it feel like to be talking on the stage with people who are just sitting there locked into every single word that you are saying? What does it feel like to have people effortlessly come into your sphere to want to work with you, to tap you on the shoulder? What does it feel like to be inundated with clients? It is from a place of not needing it to happen, but feeling into the expansion of it already being the case. That is the difference between calling this reality in and continuously keeping it at arm's length. Attachment to results keeps it at arm's length. Embodying it and expanding your energy into it means you collapse everything you're experiencing now and you step into that timeline. So step 1, there is 4 steps to this process. Script out 2024. So that is sort of a macro view of the things, the events, the circumstances that are going to make you feel and embody new things. Step 2 is looking at the micro expansion. So what do you need to do on a daily basis? What do you fuel your body with? How do you feel the most vital in yourself? How do you feel the most inspired? What do you do to make sure every single day you're activating something within yourself that you didn't have the day before? So this is what I call incremental up-leveling. When you can do little things in terms of incrementally up-leveling every single day, again, you're focusing on the micro things that you can do that will inevitably have results come to you, not from a place of needing them to be there, but from a place of, this feels so delicious to do this, to set a routine. And by the way, it needs to be a routine. It needs to be automatic. It needs to be a ritual where it's like you wake up and boom, 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 boom. this happens. You don't even need to think about it. If you knew exactly the way you were going to move your body and exercise every single day and it was on autopilot, you would not be all in your head about going to the gym. It would just be such an easy, effortless thing that it just would automatically be something that takes place in your daily practice. So this is where we get micro. How do you move your body? Be specific. How many reps do you do? How many times a day? Like what time during the day do you do it? Get really specific and give yourself 2 weeks where these are non-negotiable things that you do every day. And this incremental up leveling will allow you to step into new frequencies that will expand you in to the energy of what your macro embodiments were for the year. So step 2 is, again, we're not focusing on the results. We're not focusing on this needs to be my 6-figure year. We're looking at daily incremental up levels that will allow you to shift your frequency to the place where you are resonating on a different wavelength, therefore attracting more powerful results as a byproduct. Not because you're needing them, not because it's a goal, not because it has to happen. It's just a byproduct of your own newness. That is step 2. Step 3 is the next layer of up leveling. So step 2 is more about what are your daily habits that help enhance and activate your frequency and energy. Step 3 is what you need to do to up level. Now, there are 3 specific things that you need to do, in my opinion, that will call in powerful results in your business. 3 different things that you need to up level. Number 1, you need to up level your identity. When you up level your identity, a massive spill on effect happens. You up level your own worthiness. You up level your own standards. You up level what you attract. The way you view yourself directly impacts how you view your worthiness, how you view your own value, and you only experience and call in the things that you feel you're worthy of having. And this is all linked to your identity. So step 3, up leveling your identity. When you do that, you also need to look at up leveling who you spend your time with. Who are the expanders that you allow yourself to associate with? So this is so important. You really then need to look at who are you following on social media? Get cutthroat with that. Who are you allowing into your sphere? Be really strict with that. And I'm not saying only hang out with people who are really successful and so on and so forth. I feel that you can be an expander for others, and that's just as important because that's you serving. But, if you know that there are people you follow on social media, if there are people you follow on YouTube or watch on TV and you feel dense and heavy, that is programming you. Everything you let in, everything you take in and consume is programming you. You need to get so cutthroat on what you let into your reality and who your expanders are, and you need to start being very intentional with that. Number 3, when you're in the energy of your expanders, you've up-leveled your identity. You also need to look at up-leveling your business strategy. What do you need to do to take your business strategy and meet you at your new identity so every layer of your life and your business is matching this new place that you are stepping into? So you need to look at up-leveled business strategy. This might mean getting more professional videos, having a really powerful strategy around launching, getting super potent and refined in your messaging, showing up in really powerful ways, having amazing people that you collaborate with. What is the next up level in your business? You need to strategically plan this out. A part of being an entrepreneur, a part of putting the identity cap on of somebody who's a multi-6 or 7-figure entrepreneur means having a business plan. That person who owns that, who embodies that, who lives that is not guessing. They know what their next moves are. And this is what I mean by up-leveling your business strategy. Do you know your next big moves? Or are you just throwing shit at the wall and hoping it works and playing the guessing game and hoping that everything just kind of comes to you? Up-level your business strategy. It is you owning it. It is you owning it as an entrepreneur. It is you owning it as that up-leveled identity, the multi-6-figure, 7-figure entrepreneur identity. Having your business strategy match your identity is absolutely crucial. And this again means getting yourself in the place with the right expanders, getting yourself underneath the guidance of your right business mentor, or somebody who is living what you want to live, somebody who has done what you want to create. All of those pieces of the puzzle click in so beautifully. And again, the money, the results, all the things that you were craving before is a byproduct. Okay, step 4. Now this can be hard for people. For me, it's the easiest, but I understand that it is a muscle that you build. Once you set up your micro steps, what you know your days are going to look like and feel like, once you expand and it's scripted your whole year out and you know what that embodiment feels like, once you've up-leveled your identity, your business strategy, and your expanders who you spend your time with, then it is about detaching and surrendering and getting lost in the joy of creation. Detach and surrender is your biggest job. When you detach and you surrender, you allow the universe to pick you up and to carry you into newness. This is such a powerful energy. This is the energy of ultimate freedom. Every layer of attachment that you release is a new layer of freedom that you get access to. The rate at which you are able to detach and surrender is the rate at which you are able to receive. When you attach yourself to old things, you will not open yourself up to everything that's available to you. So detach and surrender, knowing everything you want is already done. It's already done because you just went and you scripted it all out. And you get to decide your way to stepping into that reality every single day, through every single decision, through every expander you put yourself in, through every old identity that you decide to release, for every new belief system that pulls you deeper into that timeline of freedom. Every part of what you are experiencing is a choice. So you get to decide your way into newness, decide your way into abundance, decide your way into what 2024 is going to be for you, and take actions every single day as if that timeline was guaranteed. Make those decisions that feel hard, but make them based on the fact that what you scripted out is already done. And then you detach and surrender. And this is where all of the magic takes place. I know this might be a bit tricky, but I also know that you got this. If you have any questions around this, beautiful soul, please don't hesitate to reach out. And, as always, I'm here for you. If you want to make sure that you rock out 2024 and anchor into your fullest potential, please don't ever hesitate to reach out. There's a multitude of ways we can work together and we can ensure that you anchor in the potential that you know is available for you. Thank you so much for listening today, beautiful soul. I hope you got so much gold and were activated in such a way that you could step into your highest timeline of abundance and freedom, because it is more than possible for you. If that desire has been planted in your soul, it is so deliberate. If you wouldn't mind, please rate, review, subscribe to this podcast so that we can get this message into the hearts and ears of more amazing light beings across the world. I would love to continue this conversation with you, so feel free to get in touch on Instagram at sarah.tynan.quantumcoach. If you're a Facebook person, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Sarah Tynan International. And please don't ever forget, if your desire is there, it's because your destiny is there too. You just have to remember who you are. Bye for now, beautiful.